Hello, my name is Rosario Chavez, and I am in charge of the Transformation Office and PMO of Telefónica Engineering of Security, reporting to the CEO of the company. It is a pleasure for me and my team to make the PPT video available to you to introduce you to this PMO, with his history, state of development, and future plans. Miguel Bombín, who has been with me on this presentation, will be in charge of the PMO from this year onwards. This is a security engineering company of the Telefónica Group, oriented from the beginning to the security solutions. This was born as a business unit of Telefónica in 1982, after the attack against the telecommunications company. The need to protect critical infrastructures and guarantee the continuity of telecommunications services for Spain became clear. During the 1990s, Telefónica acquired stakes in companies operating telecommunication networks in Latin America. Telefónica Security Engineering as a key company in the protection of all its infrastructures, accompanies the group in this international expansion and begins to open its own subsidiaries in different Latin American countries. Towards 2002, the Telefónica Group decided to offer the capabilities acquired by this to its main customers. In 2007, this underwent the transformation towards comprehensive security following the pioneering visions of the Telefónica Group, obtaining new differential capabilities in its value proposition for its customers. With the publication of the Critical Infrastructure Protection Law in 2010, this collaborates with the National Center for Critical Infrastructure Protection, taking advantage of its extensive experience as a Spanish company of integral security solutions for critical infrastructures. As a consequence of the elaboration of a new strategic plan, we are implementing a series of actions to focus our activity on those environments where security is a key, such as critical infrastructure operators, governments, special buildings, and data centers. In addition, at the end of the year, we built a value proposition for the SME segment around our alarm receiving power stations, combining digital business control with professional security, as well as fleet management security solutions. In the last year, this has been planning to grow in different sectors of the industry, with a new strategy focused on integration and strengthening management for the development of projects in the sector of the industry with the greatest growth in infrastructure. The PMO was created at the beginning of 2060 as a response to the need to increase capacities in the company, to increase the maturity of the company that had developed engineering capacities but needed to incorporate to develop management capacities. I assumed the responsibility of leading the PMO with the challenge of coming from a Latin American culture to a European-based company, and this implies a challenge in multicultural management as well as the management of change necessary in a process of transformation. The PMO was born in a growing company with a change in business strategy and rethinking of its geographical presence. The general management proposed the change and is the sponsor of the creation of the PMO and the selection of the PMO manager.
Hi, this is Miguel Bombin, head of the PMO. It's for me and for my team a pleasure to introduce you the history of this PMO. You will see in a timeline manner the milestones that this PMO has achieved since it was created. In this short time trip, I'm going to try to provide you a clear framework to understand how this PMO was conceived, designed, built, and proved inside our organization, dealing with the strategic intention, the politics, the people, and the projects. The first thing to say is that was so far from easy, and depending on our current level of maturity in some steps, our journey maybe will mean a reorganization of our business and potentially reaching outside our own organization to gain some help along the way. We had the will, the wherewithal, and a strong sponsor behind us that gave us steps to follow to design and deliver our PMO. The history of this PMO started in the middle of 2016 when the CEO and its board of directors realized that successful organization employs project management to drive change and achieve their business objectives, and if this organization establishes PMOs, it results in projects with higher quality and business benefits. It was needed to do the right things in the right way, in the right order, and with the right people. Here we have several milestones in this high-level roadmap. Milestone number one, creation and diagnosis of this. The emphasis of this stage was the capture of the vision of what is needed to achieve and the main results and benefits that it wanted to obtain from that. It was set the PMO plan version 1. Milestone number 2. Once the PMO project was undertaken based on a clear reason and operates within the organizational context of this, it means that the various stakeholders of the PMO program were aligned in a clearly understood and defined direction. Resources were mobilized, and an organizational chart was established, project charter and show were developed, risks and problems were addressed, the detailed work plan of the programs were developed, and the PMO kickoff meeting was carried out. Milestone number 3. Workshop and training in project management methodology. In this stage, the initial training of the methodology and the PMIs according to these business processes was carried out. Key people and agents of change were trained and endowed with authority. Milestone number 4. In this stage, the methodology and or the tools were integrated into the organization through a training of a large group of people from this. Like this, depending on the requirements, other initiatives were executed, such as the internal marketing of the new system. Training and mentoring programs were initiated. Milestone number 5. It was carried out a kickoff meeting in Peru with the people of the organization over there, so that the PMO stakeholders in Peru were aligned in a clear and defined direction. Resources were mobilized. It was established an organizational chart. The project status and the show were developed. The risks and problems were addressed. The detailed work plan of the program was developed. Milestone number 6. The PMO plan version 2 was set. Based on the results and the general feedback of the stakeholders, it was implemented a set of specific improvements in the purchasing processes to refine them in order to ensure a total adaptation of the objective. It was another adjustment in the initiation process. This became an essential part of any initiative for continuous improvement of maturity. Milestone number 7 and number 8. The same it was done in Spain and Peru, it was carried out in Brazil and Chile, with the people of the organization over there. It was carried out a kick-off meeting with the PMO stakeholders in those countries in order they were aligned in a clear and defined direction. Milestone number 9. The PMO held in this period some specific workshop. A new version of the methodology was integrated into the organization along with the update of the training and mentoring programs. Milestone number 10. More specific workshops were held during this period. The PMO carried out a new training in certain areas such as communication and stakeholders. The idea was to integrate different processes along the project management process, combining theory and practice. Milestone number 11. During this period, it was held the first project management training workshop for TIS. The main objectives of the workshop were to know the training approach in the project management in TIS, understand and apply the basic concepts of project management in projects, identify everything that defines the role of project director, know the basic of project management and roles, as well as knowing and applying the best practices to start a project in TIS. Milestone 12. This was an important milestone. The TIS PMO got the red credential from PMI, recognizing the TIS capacity for developing project management skills, guaranteeing the professional consolidation of TIS as a professional leader in the way of delivering our value proposition. Milestone number 13. It was done a new diagnosis and a new planning of the project management approach in this Peru. As a result of this action, the approach to project management was improved, project management capacities were strengthened, and communication and interactional capacities with stakeholders improved as well. Milestone 14. The second project management training workshop was carried out. The main objectives were the same as the first one. Milestone number 15. As part of this strategy and to reinforce and accelerate the process of maturity of this based on the component people, was launched the plan for all people who have received training in project management based on the methodology of the PM book, in order all of them to get the PMP and CAPM certification. Milestone number 16. This is another key milestone for this PMO. At the end of the year was held a workshop to review initiatives and improvement processes that helped to achieve the objectives established by this. The role of the PMO is its roadmap, review of the processes and methodology, as well as the final conclusions were presented. Milestone number 17. PMO was realigned together with the new restructuring of this organizational chart. Within the transformation area, the PMO reports directly to the CEO's office. The PMO together with the tool development and the tool process area so they can contribute more directly to increase the maturity and improve the organizational capacity of this. Milestone number 18. A new and relevant workshop. The main objectives of this workshop were knowing the different styles of leaderships, the difference between project manager and functional manager. Milestone number 19. As part of the process of maturity and strengthening of these structures, a new tools assessment was held. The best tools and information systems for project management were analyzed to try to transfer their efficiencies to this. And the last and final milestone so far is milestone number 20. As a result of the alignment of this PMO with the sales office, the PMO participated in a review of company's strategy. The organization of this is aligned with the objectives. There is a direct report to the organization management through the COO's office. The PMO is integrated within the transformation office of the company and aligned with the system department and quality department. The PMO is transversal to the entire organization and is one of the levers that the organization is using to accelerate its maturity process. Within the PMO, there are 4 people or 4 roles who perform the function of PMO manager or director. Its key position is interpreting corporate strategy into the makeup of the portfolio. The second role is Center of Excellence Coach. This role is a kind of internal consultant to the organization and providing the voice of experience to the TSPM community. The third role is the methods and practice role. This role ensures compliance to the methods and tools used in this. And the last role is the reporting coordinator, provides secretary and administrative support. In this slide, I'm going to talk about this mission, this vision, and these values. This mission is we make the world a safer place, supplying solutions that protect lives, properties, and guaranteeing essential services for society, providing continuity to business. This vision. As the security company part of the largest telecommunication company in Spain, we face our own challenges and transfer our differential value to the telco and to our customers. These values. These principles are what define us, move us, make us recognizable and special. They say how we are and how we want to be. We want to be reliable, compromised, honest, and transparent. We have the best qualified and experienced professional in offering a quality service based on excellence. This is our commitment to maintain an optimal relationship with the customer, taking care of every detail and offering satisfactory results. We want to be challenging, pioneer, transformative, restless, visionary, agile, always going a step ahead. We innovative to offer new solutions tailored to the needs of each client. Transforming ourselves as the market does is the best way to exceed expectation and prove who we are. We want to be open-minded, collaborative, close, friendly. We work using a global and collaborative system in order to transfer an incomparable experience and service to our customers, maintaining always a close and friendly attitude in any situation. Before explaining the main objectives, we need to know where are we going. How well do these people understand company goals? How are we going to get there? How well do these people understand company strategy? What should I be achieving? How well do these people understand their own goals? How am I measured? How well do these people understand their metrics? Through the portfolio management, make the appropriate projects required to carry out this strategy. How we can engage strategy making with strategy execution? First of all, we have to do the right projects. Align ideation, nature, and vision to do the right projects. Second of all, do the project right. Align synthesis and transition to do the project right. In order to continue with this, we should continually review these 2 points: do the right projects and do the projects right. How we can do this? We need to know who this is, why this exists, and where is this going. Align this strategy, structure, and culture. Continually re-articulate and quantify this desired outcome. Continually reinvest into the right portfolio of strategic projects to achieve current strategic outcomes. Execute these strategic projects balancing appropriate levels of discipline versus agility. Transition these project benefits into operation and reinvest the project resources. The foundation of the PMO is that this establishes the project management office to drive change and achieve its business objectives and to get projects with higher quality and business benefits. How we can get this? Being a center of excellence. This is based on 4 columns: standards and methods, internal consultancy, organizational learning and knowledge management, and finally people and skills. In this slide, we're going to talk about these PMO functions. The main function of the TIS PMO is enhance the organizational capabilities. How we're going to do this? Through improving the right mix of people, processes, and tools. If we talk about people, we're talking to enhance the ability to perform activities within a project environment that lead to outcomes based on defined and accepted standards. If we're talking about processes, we're gonna do the writing and produce business processes workflows, performing the methodology training, and the tools that will be installed and configured according to the business processes. In case we're talking about tools, we'll say that we're going to improve and enhance this function through assessing and analyze the best enterprise project management tools and configure it correctly in order to improve access to decision-making information. The tools have not been seen as an isolating catch-all solution. In this part of the presentation, we're going to talk about results. Talking about results, we have to divide this into main areas: maturity and performance. Talking about this maturity, we have to focus in project management maturity improvement. It was designed and executed a strategy to improve the skills of the organization to choose the right projects and execute them successfully. The plan acted gradually in areas of this maturity. Doing the right projects through coordinated management of this portfolio to achieve the strategies and objectives of the organization according to its vision, mission, and values. Supporting investment decisions. Do the projects right, coordinating application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to activities of projects and programs in order to comply with the requirements. How we can make this maturity improvement? This has been possible because of the development of the four dimensions of maturity. The first dimension is PMO. The PMO was the center of action for the development of maturity. Seeing in the vision of this, the PMO is not only a provider of monitoring and control services, it's not a facilitator of project management and a promoter of improvements in the maturity of the organization. The second dimension of maturity is people. The capacities, skills, knowledge, and experience required for the management of projects and programs were improved. The third dimension of maturity is process. Processes to be applied in the activities of management and direction of projects and programs were improved as well. And the last dimension of maturity is tools. The tools around the organization capabilities were set and improved so that the centralization of records as well as the communication of relevant information can be improved. As we were talking about results, we have to talk about this performance. We have to focus on project performance. The performance and the efficiency of the project has improved. It has been measured based on the result in the relation to the fulfillment of their objectives and the restriction imposed on the project by this. These factors are schedule, budget, customer satisfaction, use of resources, among others. The main results achieved in the last 12 months were in the PMO dimension, the PMO of this managed to become a PMI rep provider, a registered educational provider. In the process dimension, at the beginning of the PMO journey, the project start and close methodologies were established, the planning processes were implemented, and a series of templates and formats were established for the management of the project on the TIS intranet. During these last months, there has been a revision and improvement of these methodologies and templates. In the tools dimension, there has been an improvement and adjustment of the configuration of the information management tool so that the centralization of records and the communication of relevant information has been improved. Similarly, different tools that can improve and or complete those currently used within the organization have been evaluated. And lastly, in the fourth and last dimension, the people dimension, we can talk about 38 people have been trained to be certified as PMP and CAPM. Communication management and stakeholder workshops were held for the 25% of these people, as well as two leadership workshops for 30 people who manage teams. The performance of the PMO in this area, the corporate project management area, has allowed to the degree of the maturity within the organization to increase. It has tried to increase the holistic vision of the management of projects, programs, and portfolios to achieve executing the organizational strategy in a consistent and predictable way, so as to improve the result of this and to increase in a sustainable way to competitive advantages. How is this achieved? Trying that the management of projects, programs, and portfolios is carried out in a systematic and integrated manner with the strategic management of these to achieve the objectives both strategic and operational. The level of maturity of this in the organizational management of projects is the degree of development of the capacities of this, so that the projects are aligned with the objectives of the business, both at a strategic and operational level. It has allowed that through diverse performances of the PMO, they can be to select the projects so that they are aligned with the strategy, do the right projects, and that these fulfill their own objectives, do the projects right. It has been clear that as the level of maturity of this has increased, the performance of its project has also increased. The level of maturity is an addition of the PMO, the tools, methodologies, and people of this. What is the future of this PMO? What are the next steps? Okay, we have to talk that the future of this PMO will be based on the development of the four dimensions of maturity. We talk about PMO dimension. We'll say that we're going to continue reviewing and reevaluating the organizational structure of the PMO within this. We will perform complete evaluations. We will do internal project audits. We will continue developing policies and guidelines. We will try to position this as an entity of excellence in the execution project based on good practices and recognized standards worldwide. And we will carry out meeting activities among the company. We talk about the process dimension. We'll say that we're going to continue establish and control the use of the TIS methodology in a complete project management manner. We will try to establish a methodology for the management of programs and portfolios. We'll continue with the integral approach to change management that is being applied in multiple projects. And finally, we will continue with the review and revaluation of the company's purchasing and acquisition processes and carry out and adopt training for these users. Talking about tools dimension, we'll say that we're going to present tools and automated practices for the management of knowledge of projects and the different functional areas of this. We'll continue helping and coordinating the implementation of project management based on commercial solutions. We will develop new tools to help this prioritize the choice of portfolio projects, and we will evaluate, develop, and implement an online training platform on methodology and good practices in project management. And finally, talking about people dimension, we will identify facilities and equipment requirements. We will implement a compliant guide to project resource management. We will establish education and development, manage and regulate training curriculum, and manage the professional development program of project management. We will establish a formal mentoring program for project management. We'll continue with the training workshop to get the PMP and CAPM certification. And we'll continue with the training workshop for the middle management and managers in project management and leadership.